What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So, taking a break from all the Plague Star videos the last couple days to do a Riven rolling video. We've got a Hound weapon Riven today, the Lacerten, and we'll be talking about Hounds and how they're better now than when I first tested them like over a year ago, and what kind of stats you should be looking for on Rivens, what stats don't work on Rivens for Hounds, and what stats I'll be going for on this Hound Riven, because this is not my first time rolling a Hound Riven in this game. I actually did this about a year ago, and did some extensive Riven testing with Hounds, so that's what we'll be talking about today. And yeah, Hounds can actually kill level 195 Steel Path Grineer now. But they still have some problems where like their attacks will whiff in the air. That's just like melee companion AI in this game in a nutshell. So yeah, there's still going to be situations like you're seeing in the footage right now. It's like, okay, isn't the Hound supposed to be killing that enemy? Oh, the enemy randomly died. Okay, let's hope the next melee attack actually connects. So that's something you're still going to be dealing with. But, you know, there are certain stats that can make it do even more damage, because these are pretty good chunks of damage right here, I'd say, for a build with no Riven on it. So let's go ahead and talk about the Lacerten, why I'm choosing this Hound melee over some of the other ones, and what Hound melees you should be looking for if you do want to make your Hound as min-maxed as possible as far as damage. So, hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we got the Lacerten. The reason I'm using the Lacerten was, first off, I had the most Forma on it. As you can see, 6 Forma when I initially tested out these Hound weapons. This one does impact and slash damage. The impact on here is going to be used for shattering impact, as the vicious bond mod for armor removal does not work on the illusions of the dog. If you're using triple dog or you're using duplex bond, vicious bond will not work on the illusions. The only thing that will work on the illusions is going to be shattering impact. Now, shattering impact doesn't do that much armor removal, so honestly, in the end, that mod might get removed anyway for hopefully a really powerful Riven. But as far as the mods I'm looking to replace here, and what mods don't work, some mods that don't work on Hounds are like Prime Reach, for example. Attack speed didn't seem to work either, but again, I'm not entirely sure on that one. I've used Warcry. I feel like Warcry made an attack faster, but Prime Fury didn't seem to make an attack faster. So things that we are looking for on here just to make it have a bigger chunk of damage. There's not going to be really a way to get us to 50% crit chance for the Tenacious Bond mod. You're going to have to find other means of doing that, because this thing's got base 10% crit chance, and you can't equip Sacrificial Steel for some reason. So the most crit chance you can get is this True Steel mod, unfortunately. So if the Riven is like triple the stats of True Steel, basically, but the Riven dispo is nowhere near high enough of that. I think we're at neutral dispo on here. So things I'll be looking for extra elements. We're using the Manifold Bond mod in our Hound. Companion precepts apply the status effects of the weapon. So that right there, we have impact, slash, and viral. If I get a double elemental, I can fit on impact, slash, viral, and like heat. And the ability that we're using has base electric too, so we'd have a lot of statuses. Now keep in mind, there are ways to do this. I'm going to quickly show you, so I'm just going to quickly flash it on the screen, okay? So there are ways to get Tenacious Bond active on the Hound, but not with the Lacerten from what I can tell. So we'll be just going for big elemental damage, big upfront melee damage. Condition Overload does work, so yeah, we're looking to basically replace Shattering Impact or replace one of these 60-60 mods with something hopefully better. The crit part, I think the crit part is worth it personally, but if we do get a crit Riven, we'll have to go back and look at how high the crit chance does get. So, not sure how much Kuva I'm going to drop on this thing, but let's just see what we got. I got 300k apparently, so let the rolling begin. Basically, all the stats that are on here besides Band the Grineer are pretty bad, so let's go ahead and see what we get. Now, for the impact, working on Shattering Oh! That's a pretty decent one right off the bat. I mean, it's negative damage to Grineer, unfortunately. Okay, so we got a crit chance one right off the bat. Let's see how high our crit chance goes, even though we just got the first roll with a decent one. Yeah, negative Grineer is definitely not ideal, but also at the same time, you know, this will give us the extra element on our Manifold Bond I was talking about. So I guess we would take off Shattering Impact in this case. Okay, so we got a 38% crit chance. It looks like there is literally no way. There is literally no way to get to 50% crit chance. So what does DE expect us to do? Are we just not supposed to use Manifold Bond on the Hound? Okay, so if I do that, we would probably take off Shattering Impact in the end. I would replace, I guess I'd take off Shattering Impact, I'd put Vicious Frost there, and I'd move the D polarity down, so I could probably have Viral Heat. Let's see if that works. Now, I'm going to probably keep rolling it here because we just started the video and I was planning to at least get a good one. I mean, I'm not happy with the negative, to be fair. If I'm keeping this thing forever... Okay, so we got viral heat now. We have an acceptable roll as long as we're not fighting Grenier, that is. So, these stats should all work on the Hound. Melee damage, crit chance, and heat damage should all work. So, already, first roll got something that's usable. But ideally, we'd have 2 elements so I could use Shattering Impact and I could have all those elements on there. So, let's keep going. So as far as other Hound weapons you can use, you could try the Puncture one, the one that does Puncture and Slash. That's probably going to be pretty good nowadays, especially because we have the... Okay, so look at this right here. We have minus range. That's probably a better negative than minus Grenier, funny enough. We do have less melee damage. We have slash damage instead of crit chance. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that this one... It has some potential to be better, but it also has some potential to be worse, as we're getting less crits. So, I think I'm going to stick with this one for now, keeping in mind that range negative does not matter on this Hound for my testing. So, okay, what do we have here? Chance to gain combo. They cannot gain combo, unfortunately. So we have a pretty bad Riven with... It has minus impact, but yeah, not really my favorite. Now, the reason we are rolling for elements on here is because... of the status duration. Interesting. I don't know if status duration works on this thing either, to be honest. The reason we're testing this stuff out is because it just gives lots of procs. The more procs you have on that, the more Manifold Bond will proc off of the Electric Proboscis, and the more procs enemies will have on them. Again, you could do some unintended things to get more procs, but yeah, the focus of this video is the Lacerten Riven, to be honest. Slash cold melee damage. We've gotten slash a lot, I've noticed, on these Rivens. It is nice when it procs a big juicy slash proc, but that's not super often. So my god roll right now would probably be... that looks okay. Plus viral, plus crit chance. Oh, I just realized this, though. If we take this, we are going to need to switch one of the mods around. I want to put on viral heat on there. And we get minus attack speed and we get plus crit chance. The plus crit chance is extremely low. But it doesn't have minus Grenier, at least. I'm kind of at a loss here. This has plus viral. That's pretty much exactly what we were looking for. But also, the overall melee damage will help a lot for, like, one-shotting some enemies. And this crit chance on here... Oh, wait, the crit chance is actually higher. I mistook that. I thought this was 117. This is actually 177 crit chance here. So, I think I am going to take this. Now let's go ahead and see if the attack speed negative does affect it, which I don't think it does. Let's see how much we just screwed ourselves over there. Okay, so we're going to go to the Hound. We're going to go to the Lacerten. Now we just got purely viral, so we could take off both of these mods technically for other things. But for the time being, let's just go see how slow the dog attacks now, if it even is noticeable at all. Because I could have swore that Warcry worked, but negative attack speed Rivens didn't work. So that might just be like an overall attack speed multiplier that Valkyrie's putting out. But let's go ahead and see. I'm expecting this to be pretty decent. And if this one is actually good, like the attack speed negative doesn't affect it, I may end up keeping this one as providing viral from one mod slot is very nice. All right, so let's just do the same thing I used in the footage earlier. All right. If it starts slapping at any normal speed, that means the negative is not affecting it. Okay, slap, 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 and he's down. Okay, so looked like the attack speed negative was not affecting it. I could go with Warcry right now. We can see if that actually works. Like I said in my previous testing, I should have a Warcry Anaros ready. Okay, so for right now, that looks pretty good. I would have preferred overall melee damage over crit chance because we just found out you can't get crit chance to the number we're looking for. We got 39.7 with like a complete maxed out roll, basically. So that's unfortunate. DE, maybe make it where Hounds have higher base crit chance on their weapons or something. Maybe. We have a Warcry build here. Is that Warcry right there? Oh. Looks like this is Warcry. Okay. We got Warcry from Valkyrie. It should be a 53% speed increase on attack speed. Let's look for some strength too. So maybe hit that a little bit higher. Okay. There we go. Okay, now it's going to be a 82% speed increase. This, if attack speed works on the Hounds, but I don't think it does, this should be somewhat noticeable right here. A negative Riven and a plus 80% attack speed. Alright, the buff doesn't even look like it's active on him. Looks like exactly the same attack speed, honestly, so... yeah, attack speed does not affect these guys. And we'll have to make a new build then. So I'm gonna have... okay, so now that I got that Riven, I will have Viral Heat and Shattering Impact. So if I do end up going down the Duplex Bond route, where I make illusions of my dog, then it will be able to make those dogs armor strip as well without the Bond mod. So let's just give it a couple more rolls. I think we got really lucky, actually. Funny enough, I get lucky on a Hound Riven out of all things, not the weapons I actually want to roll. So let's see if we can get viral melee damage instead of viral crit chance. Attack speed right after we tested to make sure attack speed doesn't work. That's funny. But yeah, the reason this is such a good Riven, to me at least, is that it replaces 2 mod slots. It replaces the cold mod and it replaces the toxin mod. Now we might end up having less status chance in the end, but one of those mods we'll be replacing will be a 60-60 mod. It could be a cold and status chance here. These things have 15% status chance. We're not really scaling off a very large number. It's just really a shame that they have such high crit damage but no crit chance. I think that definitely is something that DE should look to in the future. Okay, so this could be pretty good against Grenier for like upfront base damage, electric and Grenier, as they're weak to corrosive usually, so that could be pretty decent, but I'm happy with this one right now. And funny enough, we got another double elemental. I don't think that these are good enough to really go for, but also hilariously, these numbers, 92.7, 97 toxin, those are higher than our one with a negative. Those are supposed to be higher numbers on the negative, hilariously, but didn't work that way, so let's just go and give it a couple more, and then we'll call it a vid. Attack speed, status chance, infested, minus impact. Okay, yeah, attack. So any roll you see with attack speed, guys, it's just don't worry. Like basically, don't care about it. Just move on. Any attack speed roll will not be helping you out here. Even with negative. I mean, negative attack speed is a completely free negative from what I could tell. So yeah, go for negative attack speed if you can. Range and cold. Range does not work from what I was able to tell. Range does not work. Attack speed doesn't work. I don't know if status duration works, but it probably doesn't. Cold, electric, and slash. Negative slash. Okay, let's just do like 2 or 3 more. I think this Hound Riven has had enough Kuva in it already, but expect a full Hound video in the future. The Hound I've been mostly using is just the one with the electric shock ability and the Eximus Steel. I was using the magnetic bubble. for a little bit, but the magnetic bubble is extremely annoying because it blocks your shots. If the Hound jumps near an enemy, the Hound's bubble will... oh my gosh! Triple element! We got triple element. Is that even good? I don't think that's good because the ability that we're using already does electric damage. Darn. This could be kind of funny, though. Alright, guys, let me know in the comments. Which one would you have taken in this case? Would you have taken the triple element minus Grenier? That's a lot of minus Grenier, to be honest. Or would you have taken the one I'm going to take, which is the viral crit chance one? I think those elements, if it wasn't electric, maybe it would be better, but I want to have viral, heat, and then the electric is on the ability already. Any electric roll on here is just not what I'm looking for. And also any attack speed roll, obviously. So, last couple in here. Negative crit damage, plus range. Yikes. So if this thing does get a crit, it actually hits pretty hard. That's why I'm pretty happy about the crit chance on here. Range, toxin, slash. No thank you. Alright, last one, and then we're going to call it. Hope you guys found this video fun and helpful. Yeah, so as far as the other... is anything good in this last one? Damage to Corpus, crit chance, slash, minus impact. Yeah, no thanks. Now, as far as other Hound weapons that you could roll Rivens for and not feel too bad about it, this one is still good because it does have the versatility of Shattering Impact on the illusions. But as I stated earlier, the one with the Puncture and the Slash, is it this one? Yeah, Puncture and Slash. Now that we have that armor stripping mod, you could use this one instead, not to worry about Shattering Impact. And the Puncture procs, you know, they bypass enemy armor a little bit, so that's pretty good. If you get a Puncture proc, you get increased crit chance too, so that's kind of nice. But the Bato-10, or whatever this one's called, it's Impact and Puncture. Don't bother with this, I'd say. If you're going to be using the Hound weapon, do the Lacerten or the Dagath at the end of the day. Alright guys, I'll see you next video. I'm going to mess with my Hound weapon now, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace!